Hello and welcome to Ancient Asia. Today we shall go through the new list of World Historic Wonders. The new 7 Wonders of the World was a campaign started in 2000 to choose wonders of the world from a selection of 200 existing historic monuments. The popularity poll via free web-based voting and small amount of telephonic voting was led by a Canadian Swiss Bernard Weber and organized by the new 7 Wonders, that is N7W, based Zurich, Switzerland. With winners announced on 7 July 2007 in Lisbon at Estadio da Luz. Here are the great historic wonders of the world along with the honorary stature given to Great Pyramid of Giza, which was voted in 2007. The Great Pyramid of Giza, also known as the Pyramid of Khufu or the Pyramid of Chips. It is the largest and oldest of the 3 pyramids at the Giza necropolis in Egypt, and the only surviving of the original 7 wonders of the ancient world, was granted honorary status. Oldest and largest of the pyramids in Giza Pyramid Complex bordering present-day Giza in Greater Cairo, Egypt. It is the oldest of 7 wonders of the ancient world and the only one to remain largely intact. Egyptologists conclude that the pyramid was built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty Egyptian pharaoh Khufu and estimated that it was built in the 26th century BC during a period of around 27 years. Initially standing at 146.5 meters, the Great Pyramid was tallest man-made structure in the world for more than 3,800 years. Throughout history, the majority of the smooth white limestone casing was removed, which lowered the pyramid's height to the present 138.5 meters. The Great Pyramid was built by quarrying an estimated 2.3 million large blocks weighing 6 million tons total. The majority of stones are not uniform in size or shape and are only roughly dressed. The outside layers were bound together by mortar. Primarily, local limestone from the Giza Plateau was used. Other blocks were imported by down Nile. White limestone for Tura for the casing and granite blocks from Aswan, weighing up to 80 tons for the king's chamber structure. There are 3 known chambers inside the Great Pyramid. The lowest was cut into the bedrock, upon which the pyramid was built, but remained unfinished. The so-called Queen's Chamber and King's Chamber that contains a granite sarcophagus are higher up within the pyramid structure. This magnificent structure truly represents ancient architectural knowledge of mankind. Number 1. The Great Wall of China. It is a series of fortifications that were built across the historic northern borders of ancient Chinese states and Imperial China as protection against various nomadic groups from the Eurasian steppe. Several walls were built from as early as the 7th century BC, with selective stretches later joined together by Qin Shi Huang 220 to 206 BC, the first emperor of China. Little of the Qin Wall remains. Later on, many successive dynasties have built and maintained multiple stretches of border walls. The most well-known section of the walls were built by the Ming dynasty, 1368 to 1644. Apart from defense, other purposes of the Great Wall have included border controls, allowing the imposition of duties on goods transported along the Silk Road, regulation or encouragement of trade, and the control of immigration and emigration. Furthermore, the defensive characteristics of the Great Wall were enhanced by the construction of watchtowers, troop barracks, garrison stations, signaling capabilities through the means of smoke or fire, and the fact that the path of the Great Wall also served as a transportation corridor. The frontier walls built by different dynasties have multiple courses. Collectively, They stretch from Liaodong in the east to the Tlop Lake in the west, from the present-day Sino-Russian border in the Mongolian steppe, spanning over 20,000 kilometers in total. Today, the defensive system of Great Wall is generally recognized as one of the most impressive architectural feats in history and named as one of the great wonders of UNESCO. Number 2. Petra. Originally known to its inhabitants as Rakmu or Rakimu, is a historic and archaeological city in southern Jordan. It is adjacent to the mountain of Jabal al-Madba in a basin surrounded by mountains forming the eastern flank of the Araba Valley running from the Dead Sea to the Gulf of Aqaba. The area around Petra has been inhabited from as early as 7000 BC, and the Nabateans might have settled in what would have become the capital city of their kingdom as early as 4th century BC. Archaeological work has only discovered evidence of Nabatean presence dating back to the 2nd century BC, by which time Petra have become their capital. The Nabateans were nomadic Arabs who invested in Petra's proximity to the incense trade routes by establishing it as a major regional trading hub. The trading businesses gained the Nabateans considered revenue, and Petra became the famous of their wealth. The Nabateans were accustomed to living in the barren lands, unlike their enemies, and were able to repel attacks of taking advantage of the area's mountainous terrain. Although the Nabatean kingdom became a client state of the Roman Empire in the 1st century BC, it was only in 106 AD that it lost its independence. Petra fell to the Romans, who annexed Nabatea and renamed it as Arabia Petrea. Access to the city is through a 1.2 kilometer long gorge called the Sikh, which leads directly to the Khazne. Famous for its rock-cut architecture and water conduit system, Petra is also called the Rose City because of the color of the stone from which it is carved. It has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1985. UNESCO has described Petra as one of the precious cultural properties of man's cultural heritage. In 2007, Al-Khazne was voted as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. Petra is a symbol of Jordan as well as Jordan's most visited tourist attraction. Number 3. The Colosseum. It is an oval amphitheatre in the center of the city of Rome, Italy, just east of the Roman Forum, and is the largest ancient amphitheatre ever built, and is still the largest standing amphitheatre in the world today, despite its age. Construction began under the Emperor Vespasian in 72 and was completed in AD 80 under his successor and his heir Titus. Further modifications were made during the reign of Domitian. The 3 emperors that were patrons of the work are known as the Flavian dynasty, and the amphitheatre was named as the Flavian Amphitheatre by later classicists and archaeologists for its association with their family name Flavius. The Colosseum is built of travertine limestone, tuff, volcanic rock, and brick-faced concrete. The Colosseum could hold an estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators at various points in its history, having an average audience of some 65,000. It was used for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles, including the animal hunts, executions, reenactments of famous battles, and dramas based on Roman mythology, and briefly mock sea battles. The building ceased to be used for entertainment in the early medieval era. It was later reused by such purposes as housing, workshops, quarter for religious order, a fortress, a quarry, and a Christian shrine. The Colosseum is an iconic symbol of the imperial Rome and was listed as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It is one of the Rome's most popular tourist attractions and also has links to the Roman Catholic Church, as each Good Friday the Pope leads a torchlight Way of the Cross procession that starts in the area around the Colosseum. Number 4. Chichen Itza. It was a pre-Columbian large city built by the Maya people of the Terminal Classic period. The archaeological site is located in Tiny Municipality, Yucatan State, Mexico. Chichen Itza was a major focal point in the northern Maya lowlands from the late Classic through the Terminal Classic and into the early portion of the post-Classic period. The sites exhibit a multitude of architectural styles reminiscent of the style seen in the central Mexico and the PICCHU and CHICHEN styles of the northern Maya lowlands. The presence of central Mexican styles was one thought to have been representative of direct migration or even conquest from the central Mexico, but most contemporary interpretations view the presence of these non-Mayan styles was as the result of central diffusion. Chichen Itza was one of the largest Maya cities and it was likely to have been one of the mythical great sites or Tolons referred to in later Mesoamerican literature. The city may have had the most diverse population in the Maya world, a factor that could have contributed to the variety of architectural sites and the site. The ruins of Chichen Itza are federal property and site stewardship is maintained by Mexico Instituto Nacional de Antropología e Historia, National Institute of Anthropology and History. The land under the monuments have been privately owned until 29 March 2010 when it was purchased by the state of Yucatan. It is now a historic wonder of the world. Number 5. Machu Picchu. It is a 15th century Inca citadel located in the eastern cordillera of southern Peru on a 2,430 meters mountain ridge. It is located in the Machu Picchu district within Urubamba province above the Sacred Valley, which is 80 kilometers northwest of Cuzco. The Urubamba rivers flow past it, cutting through the cordillera and creating a canyon with a tropical mountain climate. Most archaeologists believe that Machu Picchu was considered as an estate for the Inca Emperor Pachacuti, 1438 to 1472. Often mistakenly referred to as the lost city of the Incas, it is the most familiar icon of Inca civilization. The Incas built the estate around 1450 but abandoned it a century later at the time of the Spanish conquest. Machu Picchu was built in the classical Inca style with polished dry stone walls. Its 3 primary structures are the Intihuatana, the Temple of the Sun, and the Room of the 3 Windows. Most of the outlying buildings have been reconstructed in order to give tourists a better idea of how they originally appeared. In 1976, 30% of Machu Picchu had been restored and restoration continues. Machu Picchu was declared as a Peruvian Historic Sanctuary in 1981 and a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. In 2007, Machu Picchu was voted as one of the new 7 wonders of the world in a worldwide internet poll. Number 6. The Taj Mahal. Originally, this structure, known as Roza-e-Munawwara, is an irony white marble mausoleum on the southern bank of the river Yamuna in the Indian city of Agra. It was commissioned in 1632 by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, reigned from 1628 to 1658, to house the tomb of his favorite wife Mumtaz Mahal. It also houses the tomb of Shah Jahan himself. The tomb in the centerpiece is a 17-hectare complex which includes a mosque and a guest house, and is set in formal gardens bounded on the three sides by a crenellated wall. Construction of the mausoleum was essentially completed in 1643, but work continued on other phases on the project for another 10 years. The Taj Mahal complex is believed to have been completely and entirely at 1653 at a cost estimated at the time to be around 32 million rupees. The construction project employed some 20,000 artisans under the guidance of a board of the architect led by the court architect of the Emperor Ustad Ahmad Lahori. The Taj Mahal attracts 7 to 8 million visitors a year, and in 2007 it was declared a winner of the New 7 Wonders of the World 2000 to 2007 initiative. Number 7. Christ, the Redeemer. It is an Art Deco statue of Jesus Christ in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, created by French sculptor Paul Landowski and built by a Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa in collaboration with French engineer Albert Clark. Romanian sculptor Gheorghe Leonida fashioned the face. Constructed between 1922 and 1931, the statue is 30 meters, 98 feet high, excluding its 8 meter, 26 feet pedestal. The arms stretch 28 meters. The statue weighs 635 metric tons and is located at the peak of 700 meters Corcovado Mountain in the Tijuca Forest National Park, overlooking the city of Rio de Janeiro. A symbol of Christianity across the world, the statue has also become a cultural icon of both Rio de Janeiro and Brazil and was voted as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It is made of reinforced concrete and soapstone. For more such amazing and informative video, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon for the regular updates. Like, share and subscribe. This is Ancient Asia.